Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to talk to you about weight loss. So how to actually lose weight and how to keep it off long term, because that's what a lot of people struggle with. So we're looking at long-term sustainable results, not quick fixes where you put the weight straight back on as soon as you lose it. So I'm going to try and keep it as simple as I can today, but I do just want to start off by saying when we talk about weight loss, we're actually talking about fat loss. Now, when we lose fat, we're going to try and build some muscle. Now, muscle is more dense than fat. So if you have a kilo of muscle in your body and a kilo of fat, the muscle is going to take up less space. So your body composition will change. You will look smaller as you lose fat and build muscle, but the number on the scales might not necessarily change all that much. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They just rely on the scales, and then they get disheartened when the number doesn't change, and then they start doing more cardio, they eat less food, they reduce their calories. Do not do this. There's better ways to track your progress than just the scale. So my favorite one is photos. So a door frame works amazing because the door frame doesn't change. So standing in the door frame, you can see difference better, but a plain background is absolutely fine. So take a photo of yourself facing the camera, side on and one from the back, every 2 to 4 weeks, and you will be surprised at the difference you see compared to what you wouldn't have really noticed otherwise. And then you've got things like, do your clothes fit better? Is it looser in certain areas? If so, but the number on the scales isn't changing, you're making progress, you're losing fat and building a little bit of muscle. That's exactly what we want. And then you've got, are you lifting heavier in the gym? Do you just feel better in yourself? These are much better indicators compared to the scales. So yes, I'm not saying you don't weigh yourself, definitely still weigh yourself, that's fine, but don't rely on it. Don't be disheartened if that doesn't change too much, because like I said, we're looking to lose fat and build muscle, which in theory does weigh more than fat. So that's that. Progress photos are 100% the best way to go forward. So weight loss is not what we're talking about. We are talking about fat loss. So let's get into it. Now, the number one thing when it comes to fat loss is a calorie deficit. You have to be in a calorie deficit. If you do everything else I talked to you about today perfect, but you're not in a calorie deficit, you are not going to lose fat. This is the most important and the only way you're actually going to lose body fat. There's loads of equations and calculations and things like that out there to get this number. I could literally give you one right now, but it's very simple, not the most accurate. So what I'm going to do is pop a link in the description to this video for one of the best recommended ones out there, and I'll explain how to use it. Okay, so once you click the link and you pop all your information in, it's going to give you 3 options. It's going to say maintain, lose weight. We know it's fat, but it says lose weight, and lose weight quickly. We don't want to do this one, okay? So we want the middle one where it says lose weight. It's going to say 0.5 kilos, and that is a 500 calorie deficit. So you're going to be consuming 500 calories less every single day than what your body is burning off. So if you're somebody who you think you've got a significant amount of fat to lose, then please drop me a message. My Instagram handle is in the description as well, and I will have a look and see whether I think it is suitable and ideal for you to do a larger deficit than 500. But for majority of people, the 500 deficit is perfect. So that's that. Now, once you've got this number, we need to track it. So if you are not tracking your calories, you're probably not going to be in a deficit, okay? Because food has more in than what you think. And it's not just food, it's the liquids, it's the sauces, it's all of these things. So we need to track our calories to make sure we are in a deficit. The best way to do this is to download an app called MyFitnessPal. It's completely free. There is a paid version, but you don't need this. Now, the only issue with MyFitnessPal is it allows you to eat back your calories from exercise. We don't want to do that. So if you burn 400 calories, say, that your Apple Watch says you did in a workout, MyFitnessPal will say, yay, well done, you can now eat 400 calories back. No, you can't. We've already factored this in to the number, okay? So I want you to completely ignore where it says exercise calories and remaining calories in MyFitnessPal. Ignore that. Focus on your total. So you input this yourself. So you go into your goals and everything. You put your total calories in, and where it says food, what you've eaten, that needs to match your total, okay? So forget the exercise, forget the remaining. Your total calories, your food needs to match that. So that is how to track your calories. If you're not tracking your calories, you're probably not in a deficit, which means you're definitely not going to lose fat. So now we've got the total number of calories, we need to look at protein. So if you want to lose fat, you need to prioritize your protein. So take your body weight in kilos. I want you to multiply this by 1.6. That is the minimum amount of protein you need to be consuming every single day. protein is essential, particularly when it comes to fat loss. Now, you've got a few reasons for this. One, you actually burn more calories eating protein by digesting it than you do fats and carbohydrates, about 20-25% extra calories burned there. Protein keeps you fuller for longer. It's the most satiating macro. So macros being fats, carbs, and protein. So it's the most satiating sort of food group. So it keeps you fuller for longer, which means you're less likely to snack throughout the day. And then we've just got the fact it preserves and helps you build muscle. Now, muscle is super important, and I'm going to talk about that next. But this is why you need to prioritize your protein, 1.6 grams per every kilo of body weight. It keeps you fuller for longer, you burn more, and it will help maintain and preserve and build your muscle mass. So that's your protein. Now, also fiber, really important for your digestive health. So ideally you need to be consuming 30 grams of fiber a day. You can get this through whole grains, fruits and veg, things like that. So you've got your total calories, you've got your protein, and you've got your fiber. That is all you need to focus on in terms of your diet. Whatever calories you've got left, once you've hit your protein goal, you can basically eat what you want as long as you're in that deficit, okay? Now, a massive misconception, a huge myth in the fitness industry is carbohydrates are bad for you. Carbohydrates cause you to put weight on. This is not true. You can put weight on by eating anything if you eat too much of it. The reason why everyone talks about carbohydrates is they hold onto water. So every gram of carbohydrate you put into your body brings and holds 3 grams of water with it. So when you cut out carbohydrates, yes, you're going to lose a lot of weight, not fat, initially, because you're reducing your water. So you're going to be losing water weight, not fat. So as soon as you start eating carbs again, all this weight is coming back on because it's not fat. All it is water. We're reducing the amount of water that is in your body. So carbohydrates are essential. It is your main source of energy. Your body needs them. It is your body's fuel. So you need to be eating carbohydrates. Cutting them out is a little bit silly, particularly for the next point when I come on to your exercise. So don't cut out carbs. It is a huge myth. As long as you're in your deficit, you're hitting your protein, the rest of it, with your fiber, you can basically eat whatever you like. Obviously, whole foods are great, but if you're in your deficit, you're going to be losing fat. So that's the diet side of things covered. Now let's look at your exercise. So you need to be strength training at least 3 times a week. So this is resistance training, lifting weights. We're looking to build muscle. So when you go to the gym, forget about your endless hours of cardio. Forget about your sit-ups trying to get rid of your belly fat. Forget about trying to just burn as many calories as you can in the gym. This is not what's going to help you to burn fat. We need to focus on building muscle. Now, muscle mass increases your metabolism. So the more you have, the more calories you burn at rest. Think of it like an engine in a car. The larger that engine, the more fuel it's going to burn on a journey. So the more muscle you have in your body, the more fuel you're going to burn throughout the day. Now, building muscle will ensure that when we are losing weight, like I said at the start, we're losing fat and we're holding on to muscle, okay? We don't want to be burning off muscle. We want to be burning off fat. So making sure we are resistance training will help maintain and build muscle whilst we burn this fat. Now, one extra bonus here, which most people don't know, is something called the afterburn effect. So when you go to the gym and you lift weights and you build muscle, we have something called the afterburn. So this is excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Your body basically has to work hard in order to repair and recover and build this muscle. So your metabolism is actually going to be increased for hours, all the way up to 48 hours after exercise. So 2 days. So you can do a workout on Monday and come midday Wednesday, your body is still burning more calories because it is helping your body repair that muscle. Whereas if you just go to the gym and do cardio, yeah, you'll burn a few calories, but as soon as you stop, that's it. We've got no after effect. So building muscle in the gym is super, super important. You burn more calories throughout the day because muscle is more active with your metabolism. So you burn more calories with more muscle than you do fat, but also you've got this afterburn effect where your body is helping it recover and build. We then burn more energy to do that. So that sounded a little bit like a mouthful, but hopefully you got that. So when you do go to the gym, you want to really focus on compound movement. So these are your larger exercises that use 2 or more muscle groups at once. So a squat, a deadlift, a row, a lat pull down, bench press, shoulder press, all of these. So big movements is going to burn more energy. So more muscles worked, more energy burned, okay? So isolations are good, like bicep curls, but you're not going to burn much or build much from doing that at this moment in time. So focus on your compounds, get rid of your endless hours of cardio, forget doing your sit-ups for your belly fat. You can't spot reduce fat anyway, so unfortunately you cannot decide where your body loses fat from. So if you're somebody who wants to lose fat in your stomach, it's probably the last place it's going to go, unfortunately. So this is where, again, a lot of people get disheartened because they think, oh, I'm going to do lots of core exercises, lots of sit-ups, crunches, and the belly fat doesn't shift because we can't decide where the body loses it from. So you're probably losing fat in other areas, maybe your face, your arms, your legs, but unfortunately, the stomach is usually the last place it comes off. So this is why you just need to be consistent and just be patient with it. You will get there, but it's not a quick fix. So that is it. So when you go to the gym, focus on building muscle, forget your cardio. Muscle burns more calories. Okay, so that's your actual workouts, that's your strength training in the gym. Now we need to look at what we do outside of the gym. So this is something called our NEAT, our non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is basically any movement you do that burns calories. So anything such as having a shower in the morning, brushing your teeth, cooking your dinner, getting dressed, every movement you do is burning energy. And this energy actually equates to around 25% of your total daily calories burned. So it's a big portion. Now, your workouts is only about 5 to 10%, but don't let that dishearten you. I've just spoken to you about the after effects of that, whereas this equates to a large amount, so 25%. So the more active you are, the better chance of fat loss you have, okay? So 8 to 12,000 steps a day is ideal for this. So you've got your 3 strength sessions a week. If you can do 4, amazing, but minimum 3 strength sessions a week plus 8 to 12,000 steps a day, and that is all you need for your fat loss in terms of the exercise side of things. So in order to increase this, when you go to the shops, park a little bit further away. Rather than taking the escalator or the lift, walk up the stairs instead. It all adds up, so everything you do makes a big difference, but just try and move more. Rather than sitting down of an evening, go for a 10-minute walk around your block. Whatever works for you, but just try and be as active as you can. This will make a huge difference. So we've looked at the diet side of things and the exercise side of things. Now we need to talk about hydration. So drinking water is key. Your body needs water. Drinking enough water will help support your metabolism, help with your digestion, and provide you enough energy to help your performance when you're in the gym lifting your weights. It will also suppress your appetite, so it makes you feel less hungry, so you're less likely to snack. Now, hopefully drinking water will help replace some sugary drinks as well, which provide no health benefit. So I'm not saying cut these out completely, but it will make a huge difference if you can, or at least change to a diet version. I know people will come at me for that, saying all about sweeteners, but at the end of the day, 0 calories as opposed to 100 calories. I know which one's better. Also, 30 grams of sugar in a can of Coke, give or take, that provides no health benefit. So if you can get rid of that, replace it with water, something that your body actually needs, you will feel much better for it. So an actual equation, rather than just guessing 2.5 litres, I'll pop it on the screen here, is 0.033 times your body weight in kilos. Whatever number you get, that is the number of litres of water a day you need to be drinking for your current body weight. And lastly, we have sleep. So sleep is super important for fat loss. So you need to be sleeping 7 to 9 hours every single night. This will help regulate your hormones that control your hunger, your metabolism, and your fat storage. So if you don't get a good night's sleep, your cortisol is going to be raised. This is a stress hormone that promotes fat storage, particularly in the stomach area. So good quality sleep is going to help reduce that stress hormone. Then we've got our 2 hunger hormones. We've got ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is where you feel hungry, leptin's where you feel full. If you don't get good quality sleep, you're going to increase your ghrelin and you're going to feel more hungry, therefore snack more, and your leptin's going to be reduced. You're not actually going to feel full, so you're going to keep snacking. So we need to sleep in order to help keep these balanced. And then we've got the recovery side of things as well. So sleep is super important for recovery. If we don't recover, we're not going to be able to go to the gym and lift our weights. So if we don't get good quality sleep, it's going to be a lot harder for you to stick to your calorie deficit and your training plan. So sleep is a lot more important than what people think. Forget the saying sleep is for the weak. It's not. If you want to make progress, sleep is super important. And that just about brings us to the end. So I know there was a lot that I covered in there today. Hopefully it all makes sense. Hopefully you've written things down if you need to. If not, then just go backwards and watch it again. Make notes second time round. But that's everything you need. So just a very quick recap for you. The most important thing is a calorie deficit. If you're not in a deficit, you're not going to lose fat. We want to lose fat and build muscle. So don't worry too much about the scales. In order to stick to a deficit, you need to track your calories. If you're not tracking your calories, you're probably not in a deficit. You need to be eating 1.6 grams of protein minimum for every kilogram of body weight you have. You need to be eating around 30 grams of fiber every single day. And you need to go to the gym 3 times a week minimum to lift weights to build muscle. Outside of the gym, you need to be active 8 to 12,000 steps every single day, rather than just sitting down. Go for a little walk, park a little bit further away from the shops and take the stairs, not the escalator. Then you need to stay hydrated. So 0.033 times your body weight in kilos is your number of litres of water a day you need to be drinking. And then you need to sleep 7 to 9 hours every single night to make sure that you are fully recovered. So that is it. That is fat loss in a nutshell, should I say. So we are not looking for quick fixes. If you stick to this and make it sustainable long term, you will lose the fat gradually and you will keep it off. So that is it. There's no cheating it. There's no quick fixes. There's no shortcuts. It is a lifestyle change. It is a sustainable long-term change, but you will feel amazing for it. If you stick to everything I've given you, I promise you, you will lose fat, build muscle, and you will feel your best. So thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you have learned something from it, and I will see you soon.